So only you can hear the music, right? No. So weird. Yeah, no, I can't hear anything. Now I can hear you.
You can hear it now?
I can hear you now.
You can hear the music?
That was weird. No.
Not the music?
No, I only hear you.
Okay, damn it, I don't know. We're going to start the show anyway. Welcome to Keep Me Alive.
Let's go for it.
Huh?
I said, let's do this.
Well, I just got on there, Rob. Hang on a minute. Okay. There it is. See? Okay. See, Rob, he's not used to latency. Invisible
Oh,
Rob is
gotcha.
invisible. He's known as Invisible Rob on the show. He's my friend here. Okay.
What's up, Invisible
Bring the
Rob?
volume down. There you go. He's invisible, but I can see him. He's right there. But he was checking the volume because I'll just go ahead and do the reveal now because that's why you couldn't hear any music. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I did the test and whatever. I was just troubleshooting. So you're gonna probably have to acapella sing for us, Jay, because there's.
All right, maybe. Let's see.
We'll get
let's,
the sharing
see
sound after you're in, maybe. The big reveal is, and I will take a picture of it. Jay saw it before we went live, but I will take a picture of it and post it to Instagram. What are you doing? Okay, bye. Whatever.
See ya.
See you. You're gonna miss a great show. Watch it in the car as you're driving.
Shit.
So I bought. I have upgraded the studio
Ooh.
once again.
Okay.
And I was hoping to do a grand debut with Jae Cabrera tonight, but
oh man.
But at least the microphone's working. You can hear me.
Yep, microphones are working.
I think that's the most important part, but it's not because there's a lot of music that I play on here, so I'll kind of troubleshoot as we're talking and stuff. But
okay. Yeah, for sure.
But I bought a new Rob. Open the door. He shut the door and the cat's in here. And what if he has to take a shit? You know? Welcome to Mania. Well, welcome to the show, Jay. It's nice to have you, man.
Funny. Thank you for having me, Scott. Appreciate it.
Does it feel awkward to be on that side of the mic? Or do you feel like taking charge here of the interview?
No. I think we're good. We're good. I know sometimes. I've been on the other side of the mic. I mean, just a handful of times, but
yeah,
usually I'm on the interviewer end of things, right?
Right. Yeah, not the interviewee. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I got this. I got an upgrade to the last mixer I had, where I was limited to only 3 samples, in a bank to use. Like I had a rim shot, and I had an applause.
Oh, geez.
And at the time, well, I have it. I erased it, at the beginning of the year because I changed the segment. We used to talk about hot dogs for a segment. So you got away from talking about wieners. But my dad was the sample for that. He sang this song called "The Weenie Man," and he was the intro to that segment. So that was well. I have a whopping 36 banks now. So sky's the limit on the type of annoying sound effects I can put on here. So we shall see over time. But I don't know why the music's not happening, but we will figure it out as we go. We'll
Sounds
troubleshoot this
good.
together.
Sounds good.
So
I'm down.
Jay had me on Friday Night Hour with Jay, which is
Two, I think,
your weekly. Well, it's supposed to be weekly, right?
supposed to, yeah, supposed to be
That's where I
weekly
should put the rim shot in, right? But
until this year.
mhm.
But yes, so I do a weekly live stream series called Friday Night Hour with Jay, and that is every Friday night at 11 p.m. on
Every Friday night,
Instagram.
not skipping Friday nights.
Not skip. Well, this year is a little bit of a different
Yeah,
story.
life happens. Life happens, right?
Yeah, nah, no, for sure. Um, and also I do so we highlight fellow artists and creators around the world. Um, Launched it back in May of 2020, and up until really up until this year, it was every week, right?
Yeah,
This
it's
year,
tough to keep a commitment like that too. You know, even personally, it's tough to keep that.
yeah, yeah, and I mean, it's tough. It's tough when you know having also doing a daily radio show
Yeah,
called Indie Vibin' with Jay.
right.
Um, so that we launched January of 2022, um, and basically it's 2 hours, midnight to 2 a.m. Eastern time, 9 to 11 Pacific Coast.
Did you pick those
Uh,
hours, or is that just something that was available that you took?
so you know what the I know it's an interesting time slot. So the radio station. So shout out to Indie 101.5.
For sure, yeah, yeah. They
Um,
gave me a follow too. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So they reached out to me. Now we'll back it up back around 2017. So I put out a single here in Canada called "Show Out," and there was a DJ out of Philly, DJ Jay Woo, had me on his show called Who Got Next Radio. They were broadcasting on 95.3 FM jams out of the Philly, Delaware area.
hmm
So he had me on the show. We played Show Out, and ever since he's been an awesome supporter. One of the things, so 2017, 20, after the first second lockdowns, he was telling me that he wanted to, create his own radio station, right?
yeah,
That would play off of his Who Got Next radio show, focusing solely on independent artists. And he was like, "I like what you're doing with your Friday night hour. Would you ever think about doing that on the radio?" And at the time, so this is mid 2021, I was like, "Well, I never really thought of that."
yeah,
So I was like, "You know what? I'm down. Let's go for it." So he was launching Indie 105 January. Um, and initially it was going to be, they're going to have Friday Night Hour live on the radio, Friday nights. While I was live on Instagram, we would be live on the radio as well. So um, someone already had an 11 p.m. slot. So the next available time was midnight. So I was like, okay. I was like, you know what? Let's try it. Right.
yeah.
So what I ended up doing was I actually shifted the rate. I shifted Friday night hour from 11 p.m. to midnight, for the back half of 2021, kind of to set everyone up for what we were going to do,
To continue,
come 2022.
yeah,
Yeah. So they would know,
that's
hey,
a good idea.
midnight's on Fridays. Um,
Yes,
and then I just happened to ask, I go, well, who has, I go, does anyone have this time slot on the other days? And he said, actually, no. Like the station plays music on the off hours, right? Eight
yeah. This
hours
is kind of
of
like in
just
rotation
independent
or
music.
whatever, right?
Exactly. Excuse me.
Good.
So I was like, you know what? I was like, let me take that time slot. Um, And
You'll make it work,
at the
right?
time,
You'll
I'm
make it
thinking, you
work.
know what, I can probably play. Well, the idea was I can play all the indie artists that I've had as guests on the show,
Mm-hmm.
and I can play their songs on the radio, put it in rotation, and station is monitored by a digital radio tracker, so they get their spins as well. And I was like, you know what, all right, cool. So the lead up to Indie Vibin, um, we did a test run for Friday Night Hour, and it was just way too glitchy. So Indie Vibin took over that radio slot. So I kept
Yeah.
Friday Night Hour just on Instagram, and I basically took over that time slot every day for the radio show.
I kind of want to go back to to where you started. We kind of the way we started talking, it kind of got us into to that. So that I guess
Yeah.
kind of lead us up to that point because you have a lot. You're well. I think I put it in the bio that I put up on YouTube for you. You're 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 a veteran to the industry already. As young as we all are, I guess. Everybody. I don't want to go into age. Trust me, but like I to, to be able to accomplish the things that you've accomplished in your career already, the many things that you do. So just kind of tell the folks a little bit about where did this start, and how did you get to that point to where you're at today?
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. Well, I'm originally from New York City, born and raised in Elmhurst, Queens, New York.
I've never been in New York
Um,
City. I've never ever been in New York City.
what? Come
It's
on,
scary.
Scott.
It's
Really?
scary there, and it's big. It's no, I'm kidding. I don't know. I just haven't been
Nah, nah, that's all good. It's like you gotta
there.
go, man. Come on,
Yeah,
man. What are you waiting for?
I got you. I'll meet you there.
So I am down, man. I'm down. Um, yeah, so growing up in Queens, I was always into music. I guess from a very young age. You know, I, I I would say my parents played a big role in the music that sort of influenced me in a way. Anything and everything from Beatles, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, the Commodores, Lionel Richie, Phil Collins, the
Damn,
Police, Air Supply,
everybody.
Aerosmith, Elvis. It was a broad range of music that that my parents would play, growing up. And it was so we're gonna when I say this, hopefully people can probably figure out then age.
Well,
So
maybe.
the turning point for me was I was 6 years old, and I remember this evening watching the Motown 25
Oh, yeah, that is showing some
special,
age. That's age. Yeah.
right? So the Motown 25 special where Michael did Billie Jean for the first time, and he
Wow.
first did the moonwalk. So I I remember watching that going like, I want to do that, right?
You want
And
to
then I
do the
remember
moonwalk? Do you do the moonwalk
the
in your performances?
I mean, no, it's no,
No,
I
wait.
no.
You do the jaywalk. You do the
I do
jaywalk.
the jaywalk, but I've never tried to do the moonwalk during a performance. But you know, I will take elements like little little spin moves, little
Yeah,
footwork, in the mix. But I've never done a moonwalk.
because it's a
even
jaywalk.
even that last
You
performance I
you can use
had.
that. You can use that, but the royalties you get from that term jaywalking.
Exactly. No, exactly.
I'll give you my.
So that's where it all started, the whole, wanting to get into music. And as far as, being an artist first, that was the main goal. So, throughout high school, and even after, just dabbling in, writing songs and trying to record and, you know, sort of hone the craft, but also find like my sound, right? So back in 2000, I if you're from New York, I mean, this doesn't exist anymore. It was a newspaper called the Village Voice,
That sounds like it should be in every community around United
right?
and beyond.
So I remember answering an ad for a boy band that was getting put together. So
Did you
I
want to
was
do that
like,
though? Like, was that some? Was that what you were
I,
gravitating towards
at
that
well,
style?
at the time, like for me, like musically, I loved growing up, in the 80s and 90s, pop, R&B, you know, rock, like every genre had amazing artists.
I
Like
feel
for
like the boy
me,
band thing gets a bad rep these days just because
it,
of
I
what
mean,
they became at the time. Because
yeah,
at the time
yeah.
they were huge,
Oh my
huge.
God, it
You know,
was,
and everybody knows they
I'll
listen to it. That you can lie all you want, but you know
come
they listen
on,
to
man.
it.
I'll admit, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC,
I mean, they were
98
good.
Degrees. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And, for, at the time, like that was the big thing. You had all of them, the whole Mickey Mouse Club stuff, right? Britney
In
Spears,
TRL,
Christina Aguilera,
you had to watch TRL to get the
TRL.
latest. You know.
Yep, yep. It was wild. That was a wild time. Um, but yeah,
It was
so
probably a good. It's probably a good marketing move to move to that.
well,
You
it
know.
was, and at the time, so you're talking, late '99 into 2000. So it was like
Yeah.
right, it was the right time to try it out.
For those tracking
Um,
ages, I graduated from high school in '99, so we'll keep that.
ooh, okay,
So
94.
yeah, just a bit. Yeah, yeah.
94. So yeah, no, I answered an ad, tried out for this boy band, um, and we recorded 3 songs, um, with producer, songwriter, arranger. His name is Angelo Velasquez. People call him Doc, DOC, who, coincidentally, I've known now since 2000, and he's been my main collaborator for all my music. But we'll get to that. So, with the boy band, recorded 3 songs, and I remember listening back. They were like, "Okay, Jay, do these parts. Sing this part, sing this harmony, sing that harmony, blah blah blah." They had 3 other guys. They do their parts. The engineer plays the track back, and I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm like, wait a second. It's like they're not using any of their voices.
What?
They're using all my parts. What? So so anyway, that was short lived.
Yeah.
But I met my longtime collaborator, Doc Angelo Velasquez, from that situation. At the time he was working with an indie label called Hypnotic Entertainment. We recorded a bunch more songs. Um, but at the time, so we're talking now, mid to late 2000s, going into 2001. Um, my sound at the time was very similar to, I would say, like Craig David, right? Fill
Okay.
Me
Yeah.
In, Seven
Nice.
Days, like that kind of
Good
sound.
stuff.
Unfortunately for me, as someone who is, Asian, Filipino, the label pretty much didn't know what to do with that, like how to market that. Now you're talking, this is 2000,
Crazy.
right? So not like it is now where sky's the limit, right?
Yeah.
Anyone can
You
can
can be
can do what they
anybody of
do.
anybody. Yeah, as long as you're
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
exactly. So, needless to say, about 3 to 4 years, I just kind of sat on the bench. And, then the label dissolved, obviously that comes with me being let go from
Now,
the
is that
from the
if I can
label.
stop you there for a second? Is the, how? I mean, I can't imagine how that feels. You know, internally, personally, and mentally. You're doing all this stuff. You're constantly trying to get that part and getting to the next step, but then you're just sidelined, and it's just like that's. I mean, the most deflating feeling in the world has got to be. I mean, probably a dumb question, but how do you get through that? You just keep going, right? I guess it's the
You
same
keep
for
going.
rappers or something.
Yeah, you keep going. You keep, recording, creating new material, creating songs. Um, and I remember, I would do, a couple of like college shows down the East Coast,
Just to get
which
out in the
was
world.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But unfortunately, things go the way they go, and that ended.
What were
And
you
then
feeling? What were you
I was,
feeling like? Like, were you gonna just continue to keep pursuing, or did you have like
I was
second
gonna keep
thoughts?
going,
Yeah.
because yeah, because for me, just the genuine love of music. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, it didn't work out with the label. Was I disappointed? 100%, because we put all this time and effort into recording a bunch of songs that in your heart, you're like, these are good songs.
Yeah.
But when, the people that are, handling you and are supposed to, help you on that path, it didn't happen,
Yeah.
right? Because they weren't sure what to do. So that's okay, lesson learned, right?
Yes.
Um,
Right.
so yeah, no, no. So yeah, so then from that, um, I was performing a show downtown, near the Soho area in New York City, and did a half-hour set, and the end, he had a label called Nemesis Records. Uh, this was an Asian-based label, so I was like, "Oh, this is kind of new. This is
Should be a
interesting."
shoe in then, right?
Right? So yeah, so that ended up, um, I was with them for, I would say 4 years as well. In that time, we released an EP. Now the songs, I was still, working with Doc on all my material, which is great. So we put out an EP, and that was when I remember, iTunes was just kind of, you know, 2003,
Happening.
2004. Yeah, yeah.
Just went
So
under, and everybody's got to buy their stuff now. And yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I remember, we had physical CDs, but I remember, seeing my songs on iTunes for the first time. I was like, oh man, this is cool.
Big time. Big time.
And one of the songs called I Don't Mind, we got a little bit of radio play on 107.5 WBLS in New York City, which is, it's a cool R&B station. So that was pretty dope. But like a lot of indie labels, after a certain time, the funds aren't there to keep it going.
Yeah.
They had a, I will say this, they had a female artist. Her name is Christine Sa, Christine with a K, Viet artist. She did a lot of really cool, like, Comic Con stuff, right? So she had this cool kind of sound. But I did, collaborate on her project on a couple of songs, which was great. And she actually she worked with, a producer by the name of Rick Steele, back in the day, who he's still relevant now. He's, done stuff with Ashanti, Ja
Oh wow.
Rule, French Montana.
I used to listen
Yeah,
to a crap ton of Jaw Rule.
right.
Bunch of good stuff. I used to DJ
Murder
a bunch.
Inc. Murder Inc.
Motor Inc.
So yeah, the experience of Nemesis was, honestly, it was very cool being able to collaborate with another artist on her material, right? Um, so when that time ended, at that point we're talking 2008, 2009. I'm just like, you know what? We got to keep going, right?
Yeah.
Keep going, creating
Keep
more
pushing.
music with Doc, and again, you know, between 2000, 2001, and 2000, say 10, 11. So that decade was really just finding the right sound, right? For me.
I kind of want to ask you
Um,
about this. I didn't know whether to or not, and you don't have to talk
Go
about it
for
if
it.
you don't want to. But you mentioned 2001, and it's like the elephant in the room. Everybody knows what happened then.
Oh
And
yeah.
you being so close to it, did it affect you in any way? And like I said, you don't have to talk about it.
No, no, not at all. Man. Look, you know what? At the time, I was working for a fashion company called Kenneth Cole.
I heard of them.
They had a store in Soho. I was one of the team members down there, and I remember being down there. I would say that was two
How close is
miles.
that to where?
Yeah, 2 miles from Ground Zero.
Okay, close enough.
So yeah, no, definitely close enough. And that day was wild. Anyone that knows New York City traffic, it's a pain in the butt to even like find parking. And and that morning, miraculously, as soon as I got into, near where the store was, I found a spot on the street, and I was like, this never happens, right? So, um, yeah, so that morning, found my spot, and I remember hearing all these, sirens, fire trucks just racing down Broadway. And I was like, man, there's a lot of fire trucks this morning. It's like, it's got to be something happening. So then, as I'm walking to the store, I look down Broadway, and you could see like the plume of smoke from the
Was that
first
when it was just
tower, and I was
one,
like,
Just one of them, or was it both?
Well, both were still up, but it was after the first plane hit, and I was like, oh man, what is that? Like, I don't know what happened. All I knew was
Yeah.
like, that's where all the fire trucks are going. Okay, so then I get in the, I get into the store, and then my manager's calling. He's like, "Are you watching? Turn on the TV in the manager's office. Take a look. Like this plane hit." I was like, "What?" So I turn it on. I'm watching. I'm like, "What the hell is
That's.
happening?"
I think that's what everybody said too. Yeah.
You
I
know?
was like,
Yeah. So then I'm in the store. Obviously, the store's still closed because this is like 9 a.m. Quarter after 9, and I'm watching TV in the manager's office. News is there. You see the one tower with the smoke, and then you see that second plane hit. We're like, yo,
yeah,
this
like,
is wild. It
yeah,
was it was the most surreal thing ever. I was like, is this a movie? Like, what is happening?
exactly. That's yeah. I had a
But
friend in
yeah, that
I had a friend in from London. I was in when was it 2001? So I was in college, but he was in town, so I didn't have anything going on or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but we were at my parents' house, and my dad woke me up, and because Mark, my friend from London, was asleep downstairs in my sister's room, and well, she wasn't in the house, but you know what I mean. So anyway, so um, he wakes me up and he told me what's going on and stuff, and that's before the other plane hit too, and I watched that, and then I went and woke him up, and because he was to leave the next day, that's why
okay.
we went to my parents because we were going to the airport and drop him off. So like basically he didn't get out of there for like a week, like
Yeah, it
so,
was.
but
Let me
but
tell you,
I remember that to a T.
and trying to get out of the city, right?
Uh,
So
was a headache.
I will tell you, when the towers fell, the you could feel the vibration and like the lights flickered, right?
Yeah.
So we are like, okay, this is crazy. Cell phones weren't
Did the dust
working.
get that far to you?
Not that direction, but um seeing the droves of just people walking up
from
Broadway.
from there.
Some were like covered in dust, some were not, but like just everyone was, it's like it was like watching like Independence Day, right? And just that, seeing like the crowd of the aftermath, like everyone just like know what to do. They're just kind of like walking aimlessly, but like it took me 6 hours to get out of Manhattan because they only had one bridge open to cars, which
Several
was
people
the
were just walking out of the city, right?
everyone was walking. Of course, me, I was like, you know what? I'm not leaving my car here. I'm gonna I'm gonna try and trek it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it took me 6 hours to get off Manhattan back into Queens. But I remember, you know, driving up one of the main avenues, Third Avenue. Remember driving up, and it was like everyone's like inching along, and there was a certain point where you know people were like drivers that were in their cars were having other people hop in the car so they didn't have to walk. So I remember I had a Honda Civic, and I got the wind like just inching along, and a couple of people were like walking. They're like, hey, which way you head? I'm like, well, I'm heading up towards 59th Street Bridge. And they're like, hey, we need to get to 42nd Street, Grand Central. I was like, do you mind if we you know hop a ride? I was like, come on in. Right. I know. Right.
Beginning of Uber,
So it was crazy. So so I got three people in the car. We're inching along, and I remember, because it was moving so slow, at a certain point I was like, man, I gotta go to the bathroom, right?
Oh no! Like
so
number
so
two
I
bathroom,
no,
number
no,
two.
just the number one, just the
Okay,
number
well,
one.
yeah, you
So,
close.
which was, thank God. So we're on Third Avenue, maybe right before 23rd Street, and there's a pub there. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hop out. I'm gonna see if I can use the bathroom there. I'll be right back. And they were just hanging out in the car waiting for me. When I came back out, traffic hadn't moved, so I was like, that's perfect.
I thought you were gonna
But
say your car. You came out, your car was gone.
no, 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 but that was in my mind. I was like, you know what?
It-
I wouldn't be surprised. But uh, but it was it was one of those moments in time where as New Yorkers, everybody was just there to support each other, like their
yeah,
fellow New Yorkers, right?
for sure.
So I dropped them off, and then cell phones started working again. and a couple of my friends that work in the city, they were like, "Hey, where are you at?" I'm like, I'm like by 42nd Street. If you can, if you can make it down here, just hop in and we'll all drive back to Queens, which we did. And, I remember going to my parents' house in Queens and we were all hanging out for like 4 days, just,
Yeah, yeah,
because everything was like, we didn't reopen until the fifth day.
yeah.
So,
Did
but,
you? I hate to ask this question, but did you know anybody that was affected
um,
or didn't get it?
personally, uh, indirectly, so my brother's wife, she had like a relative in-law or that was there.
I mean, like
My
thousands,
mom my mom
thousands
knew a
and
couple of
thousands of
people.
people
Yeah.
out there. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I think my mom knew a couple of people, which is unfortunate.
yeah.
But oh man, it was so let me tell you, it's so
I mean, there's
wild.
people.
It was just a
We had
crazy
a
time.
quarterback that used to play for West Virginia University that died there. He was,
Oh
he
wow.
graduated school, and after he played, I don't remember him. It was before my my time there, but
Right, right.
he was a quarterback, and I don't think he got a lot of playing time. That's probably why I didn't really connect it. But he had he got his degree in, I think, finance, and was working at the towers, and unfortunately didn't make it. But it's just, I mean, I still see things, as a YouTube, as part of the YouTube creator community. I'm on YouTube all the time, just looking at various things, and you watch one video of something, and it's going to put it in your algorithm, and you see it, and I think
Oh
that's
yeah, yeah. Like as
one the
soon as you like click on it and you're watching,
yeah,
it's like
it was like the
all of a
one.
sudden it's
One of
like
those series is about something about 9/11. I watched at one point, and
right, right.
so things come up, and I look at it. I don't really watch it much, but cause it's tough. It's like I wasn't there.
It is, man. It's,
Didn't really impact me personally, but I think impacted everybody personally
to a
in
certain
some way.
degree
You know,
for sure.
anyway,
I can honestly like it's been 24 years. I'm like, or
and it
23.
doesn't seem like that. I'm like,
Man,
what?
I know.
That's and believe
you
it or not, I
know,
was 21 years old in 2001. It's very
mm,
easy to guess my age because I was born in 1980. So like, you know,
76.
so
Oh,
so 2002
yeah.
I was 22. 2003 I was 23. So it's very easy, for me to
Oh, yeah,
guess
yeah,
my
yeah.
age. I'll be
Wow.
44 next month. Will this
All right, all right.
which
Happy
next month is
birthday in
like what 2
advance.
days?
Yeah, I know.
The middle of next month. The middle of
Happy
next month.
birthday in advance.
Thank you. Thank you. I think I fixed our audio issue, and I
Oh,
know what happened.
awesome.
I know what happened, and this was Rob's fault. Okay, so if he's watching,
Rob,
it's your
what are you
fault,
doing
Rob,
back? What are you
and
doing
he
there,
knows it
man?
was his fault too. So I was waiting for you
Come on.
to join Zoom, and everything I had everything going, and I tested it like I said and everything. And okay, so the difference in this mixer is it powers with AC adapter, which is great compared to the other one that powered with USB. But this one, I have to send data into my Mac, via the USB C. Well, I have the old iPhone that still uses the Lightning cable connector, to charge your phone. Well, he
Right.
has the new one that uses a C. So he sees that in my
Uh-huh.
adapter that's on that side of the desk, and says, I'm just gonna use it to charge my." I'm like, God, stop, because I'm already set up. We're just waiting for you to jump on. Everything's working great. Pulls the plug. The whole mixer just freezes. I mean, of course, I already know how to fix it, like on with everything else, but this mixer's new. I don't know what the,
Oh,
so I'm
jeez.
like, I know it wasn't your fault, but I'm so pissed right now. Like, don't pull plugs. Just don't pull plugs. Anyway, so
Oh boy.
what happened was the same thing that happened last night when I was troubleshooting why I couldn't hear myself or the music or anything, because I was doing test streams. There was one button, and I went and looked at it while we were chatting, where you were saying something, and I looked at that setting, and yes, it was on. So that's why I think that's why.
Okay. Well, hey, we
So
figured it out.
I want to play. I want to go ahead and play one of your songs.
Appreciate it.
Let's test this out, and I'm gonna I'm gonna have to play a little bit of Hellbent too at some point.
Hey,
I mean,
let's do it.
I didn't give her the chance.
Let's
Okay,
do
now
it.
you picked two of your songs. I like both of them, but I'll let you choose whichever one you want to play first. You want
You know
Show
what?
Out or Love
Let's
Song?
do. Why don't we let's do show out because that's kind of where this match of songs I put out that was the start of that.
Okay.
So
Do you
yeah,
want to
let's
say
go
anything
for
about
that.
the lyrics or what the songs actually was written for?
So show out. We did this shout out to Invite Only Studios in New York City. Shout out to Pat Kelly and Doc Angelo Doc Velasquez, uh, my partners in creative crime since gosh over 20
The
years,
beginning of
right?
time, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right. This one I remember when we're recording this. This was kind of a point where again trying to as an artist you want to try and find like what's your sound you know this kind of was the beginnings of finding my particular sound, right?
Yeah.
um so yeah, show out really just about meeting meeting a significant other that um you're thinking of it could be something, right? Um, but it's not. But then you stumble on someone else that ends up they're the one, right?
Ah, that's awesome.
They end up
It's like
um,
Casanova type shit, man.
something to that effect, And I remember, we wanted to do, kind of like a hybrid type of song where you had singing and oh, someone dropping a verse. So you'll hear it on this one.
It's very good, man.
Thank you.
Me and Rob, we play in our band. We play like not metal, but we just play like rock, like heavy
Right,
rock.
right, right.
I don't scream or anything like that. So like it's very, I don't know. It's more mellow than you would think. But I was playing this for him. I think it was one of the nights that I just jumped into your stream on YouTube. It wasn't even Friday night, or it was just the your regular
Oh, the
show.
indie vibing.
Yeah, and I had I had the volume. I was just waiting for my shout out, because that's one thing that's really cool that you do is you shout out people, and people love that, and that really stuck with me. And I was like, just watch, he'll do it here in a second, and there it was. Keep me alive, and he's like, don't use
It's
that,
you
don't
know
use that.
what? It's important. Like for me, it's important
Yeah,
that that we recognize the people that take time to tune in,
for
right?
sure.
Because when I go live Friday night hour, even when I do the indie vibins, I mean they could be do whatever they want to do,
But people
you
love
know.
to hear somebody that has an audience shouting them out, and
Oh yeah, it's cool
that's great.
because I love I always try and make sure that the viewers feel like they're a part of it as well. They're not just there watching; they're actually
And I know you
participating.
remember the ones that have been there previously that
Oh
keep coming
yeah,
back,
yeah.
because you do it every time, and it's like
There's quite a
every
few.
time
There's quite a few.
every time I get on Instagram, I'd be like, "Oh, Jay's live," and then I jump in there, and then whoever was around me, I'd be like, "All right, just listen for a second. He'll do it in a second.
Yeah,
He's
man.
in the
I'd
middle
be
of a
like
song."
acute mania lives in the building.
Yeah, every time I was like, yeah, but it makes you feel special for that time, and
Right.
that's huge. And it kind of sucks for like doing this on YouTube, because I don't see who's watching actively, like I
Oh,
see,
okay.
like that's why I encourage everybody to chat. Damn it, if you're watching the show right now, chat, please.
Can
Josh
you
is
tell?
in there.
Like, can you tell? I can't see.
Josh Fincham is in the chat. He is our drummer slash guitar player,
Man,
because he plays
I want
both.
to see the chat. Where the heck is the chat?
It's on YouTube. It's on. Just go on the YouTube thing. Search for me, and you'll get there. You'll
Let
see
me
us
see here. See, look,
all along.
I'm
Yeah, jump in there.
gonna pull it
There'll
up
be a
here
little,
on
little
my
bit of
phone.
latency, but you know how it goes. Yeah, Josh is
Oh,
in
I'll
there.
keep the sound down.
Yeah, Rob's not here anymore. Josh, Rob left because he I don't know why he. Well, I told him he was being too loud. Him and
I
Dylan were being too
just subscribed. Oh,
loud.
here we
Josh didn't
go.
say my name, and I did. Josh Fincham. Josh Fincham's in the building.
Okay, there we go.
Wait, I'll let you do it. Josh
Sweet.
Fincham's in the building. I'll let you say it.
Oh, snap. What's up, people? Josh Fincham's in the
That's
building.
right. That's how we do it. I need to get one of those, don't I?
I know,
I'll,
I know.
I'll get this thing
You
working,
know
man.
what? I have a Roadcaster Pro, and it's
That was the
still sitting.
verses. The
It's
verses.
still sitting in the box. I haven't set it up yet.
What? What's
I
wrong?
know. I'm such a lazy bum right now.
That was
I
that
gotta
that
re
was
you know
the
I gotta rearrange my desk because it takes up a footprint on my desk,
Yeah,
and
I know what you
yeah,
mean.
I need to
Well,
tidy
see,
up my
you just take the
desk.
old mixer out, like I did, put it over there, and insert the
Well,
song.
I use what am I using? I got Focusrite, um,
Oh, okay,
two I
nice.
four, and then I have an art accessory
So your
head amp,
interface
a
is on
4 channel
screen.
head amp.
Your interface is solely on screen.
My interface.
Yeah. Or do you use
You
the
want to?
interface, or you actually use knobs, like the knobs?
Oh, so I have the knobs. Yeah, I use
Okay.
the
Okay.
knobs on
Cool.
there.
Yeah. Rob has been trying to get me to just get the interface. That way, it's just all on the computer. I'm like, Rob, do you know how many screens I have up when I'm doing a show? I don't. I don't have room for
I
another
need
screen.
knobs, man. I need like the hardware
I
and
have
be
to see
like
it.
I could
I'd
tweak it.
rather see.
Yeah.
I can't turn it with my touchpad or whatever they
Yeah.
call it. You know.
Exactly.
All right. Let's
Exactly.
listen to the show out now. Josh is watching, so I want Josh to really listen to this because this is not what we usually listen to, Josh. I mean, I don't know what Josh listens to, when we're not
There we go.
together,
I
but
put something in the chat.
this is I listen to everything. Like I listen to everybody and everything except for like the mainstream country. I can't do it. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. But I mean, I won't.
Come
I
on,
will listen.
man.
I will listen to
Not
it
even not
if
even
you
the
want to come on the
mainstream
show and
country.
talk about country and it's different than that mainstream crap. Yes, I would like. But
Okay.
this is the
Oh,
kind of
okay.
stuff like we were talking about this,
Okay.
or like we were talking about earlier, Jay. This is the kind of stuff like boy band stuff. Everybody listen to boy bands. Everybody listen to that stuff. But this is way the hell better. This is Jae Cabrera with Show Out. Now crank this up. Crank
Thank
this
you.
up at the
Appreciate
party
that, man.
on what is it, Thursday night?
Let's
Thursday night.
go.
Please let me know
Let's
if you want to
go.
hear this too. Hold on a second.
There we go.
Yes.
Turn it up. No, I'm just kidding.
What we talking about, Spark a bottle in the club. What you sipping on, what? Give me that cup. She drank too much. Yeah, you had enough. Ma thrown up. Party on pack like a rush hour bus. Bottles on stack, yeah, there's more than enough. Bring a few of you, I bring a few of us. Leave that boy at home if he wanna act up. Pretty so pretty, make it good fall in love. Make it good fall in love. Make it good fall in love.
She's like a memory faded, so I waited, faded. Sometimes the guys like that, so I don't fight that, like that, fight that. But it's not like I just wanna do her me, yeah. Get some and break out. You might be my answer tonight when the lights go out and we show out and we show out, we show out and we show out and we show out and we could change like day comes in the night and your eyes become the stars, bright, bright. Just say yeah, 'cause we're following the light, baby. Like I just wanna do her me, yeah. Get some and break out. You might be my answer tonight. The lights go out, we show out, and we show out,
That's just
Thank you, bro.
it's fun. It's a fun song. Like get up off
Thank
your ass and
you, man.
and get the party lit. You know, like it's not like get the party
Hell
started.
yeah.
But it's like everybody's just got to the party and everybody's got some drinks in them and stuff, and it's time to get up and start moving a little bit. You know, I know it's cold
Thank you,
in Toronto
Josh.
and shit, and it's cold in West Virginia in
It's
the
not
wintertime.
cold. What? It's not cold right
No,
now.
no, I don't mean right now, but like in the wintertime and shit, you know, like you go to a party and like you just
Oh
got out
yeah.
from the Uber or whatever, and you're in the party and you're just trying to warm up a little bit. Then Jae Cabrera comes on, and that's when you got some drinks in you,
You got
you
to move
warm
your
up a little
feet.
bit, and then you just get out on the dance floor, damn it, and you're having a
Exactly.
great night, you know?
Because that's what you do. You got to show out.
Yes, that's my impression of that song, and it's just I love the beat in it too because the beat is an actual snare drum. It sounds like
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
and it's not one of those boom boom. You know, it's
Yeah.
not
No. No.
something
No.
overwhelming. It's and it fits right with that with the vibe. Like, vibing,
Appreciate it.
you know.
We vibing.
Man, you marketed this stuff great. Like with you got the indie vibing, you got the show out. You know, I mean it's working.
Trying, man. Trying. One day at a time. One day at a time.
Yes.
It's a daily grind. It's a daily
Now,
grind.
I do this. I don't know if you saw an email because we were, you know, I knew you were traveling and things, but I do this segment about landmarks, and I know there's a crap ton in Toronto. Like there's so many cool buildings in Toronto, let alone
Yeah.
just like weird landmarks. But before we get to that, you know, you're from Queens, and now you're in Toronto. Why did you go north? It's already cold in the wintertime in New York City, so it gets like I'm a fair weather fan, I guess. You know what I mean? Like I like the
I
warmer
hear you.
climate. So what brought you to?
Well, I do like the warmer climate as well. But, being from New York City, we go through the seasons. So it's very similar here. I would say, winter is a tad bit colder. It can be,
Yeah, it
but
should be right. Yeah, you
right.
would think it would be.
So, I will say this. So a lot of artists, independent artists in particular, we work day jobs, right? Work day jobs, pay the bills, gives us that flexibility to work on our craft, work on our artistry. So, this whole time that I'm trying to do the music stuff, I'm working in luxury retail, right? So, Kenneth Cole, then I worked at Prada, worked for Bloomingdale's, and then I was working for Fendi at the time back in New York, and 2010 to 2015, um, I was working for Fendi in Manhattan, overseeing two of their four stores that were there, and they asked me if, like towards the end of 2014, they were like, "Hey, we're thinking of, launching our retail footprint in Canada, Toronto." I was like, "Let's go for it."
You know
Why
what?
not?
I'll make the decision for you. Let's.
I was like, "Why not? This could be something cool, right?"
Yeah.
So yeah, so that is how I ended up in Canada. So they moved myself and family up here. Helped open three of their stores.
Oh yeah.
Albeit I am not with Fendi anymore, but still,
That's why I do
day
the
job.
wah thing.
And
Yeah. I'll get that loaded
but
up for next time. Yeah.
but I will say this: I do work for another luxe brand called Tiffany. Tiffany
Okay.
Company.
I was hoping you would say. I don't know how because I was thinking that because the last guest I had on was Inside the Trojan Horse, and
Okay.
these guys they've been around for decades through basically via Motley Crue, John Five, and when they were playing in a band called Loser with John Five, they did this. They were on Island Def Jam Records, so Jay-Z was also on that label at the time, and they went to this big thing, and I don't even know where it was, and but the ID bracelets, what, like when you go into a club now, they give you one of those like paper bracelets to get in, or to they put that when you get in and to know that you can drink or whatever.
Oh, like those neon, like whatever.
Yeah, you know what I mean, the paper ones. Well, I
Where
guess
they always put it on too tight and it's like cutting off your
yes,
circulation.
it's like damn it, you do this all night long, and I'm the one that you got to put on like a thong,
Yeah, never.
But I guess they had something like that to basically just to know who around there was okay to go in the places they could go as as VIPs. They were Tiffany bracelets, is what they were.
Nice.
in
Nice.
typical Island Def Jam style. You know, I mean,
Of course. Of
if you're Island
course.
Def
I mean,
Jam, they had Chris
that's
Stahl in
how
their room.
you're gonna
You
do
know,
it. That's how you do it.
Chris Stahl was in their hotel room. I mean, they were living the life. You know, but
Yeah.
they're doing very well, and I can't wait to meet them in person soon. Hopefully, you know.
Hey, look,
But yeah,
anything is
that's a
possible.
that's the hell yeah. That's the
Anything
best
is
way to get to
possible.
Toronto. Now I was looking to kind of like slide in, like ease into the landmark thing, and we won't spend too much time on this. But I was looking a little bit today because I never really explored Toronto. I have on Google Earth because viewers know I'm a Google Earth fanatic, and I just love exploring all over the world. And you know, you can go into Street View and look. You can go on top of a mountain.
Oh gosh,
Mount
street.
Everest.
I
On
love
Street View.
doing street view, man.
It's
It's
crazy
so
what you can do,
cool.
and it's so informative, and you can learn all kinds of things about everything, you know, and
Yeah.
anything you want to, really. But I've explored Toronto, but not to where I needed to like have something for the segment.
Right.
So I did that. I did that this afternoon, and there was a couple things that. I mean, Toronto's a big city, so you might not know these things, but this was like I guess it's a private residence. It's called
Okay.
the Cube. The Cube,
The Cube
and it's
in Toronto.
yeah, it's
Cube.
um
Okay.
it's these two like boxes, literally what they look like. They're like different shapes, but they're like sideways and shit, and it's a house. If you just look
Huh.
up the Cube Toronto, I can't remember the address right now, but it's like no, that was the tiny house was the other one. I think that was Day Street, 128 Day Street in York.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
very it's like the tiniest house like ever or something like that. But the other one was like I can't remember the name of the street, but it's over near the Parkway. I know that doesn't help you, but
I mean, there's Lakeshore, King Street West, Queen Street, College Street. I mean,
let me get.
you know, in terms of like
Tell you right now.
landmarks, I mean, it's weird. I mean, I've been
You're
up
still
here
a
since,
tourist, right? You
yeah,
still
dude,
look up. You still look up. At the
I've been
big
up here since
buildings?
2015, and I'm still like
Dude, when
discovering
I go to Pittsburgh,
stuff.
when I go to
Like
Pittsburgh, I look at the big buildings like a tourist because I'm like, damn, tall ass building. Even though it's been there. For
I do that here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do
There's some
that here.
badass
But when I'm
buildings
back
there,
in,
though.
oh yeah, when I'm back in New York, though, I'm like, I'd probably see a building.
see if I
Eh,
can- let me
eh.
pull this up here. It's that one was cool too. I'll talk about that in a second. But I think it's on the second page. It's where is it? Come on. It's always slow finding it. You know. Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah, Cube House.
Cube House. Man, I
It's,
gotta look that one up.
It's 104 Eastern Avenue, Toronto.
Eastern Avenue. Okay,
Easton.
that I'm not familiar with. Oh,
Or as you would say in
Easton.
New York, Easton Avenue. I guess.
Easton Avenue.
I don't talk like the New Yorkers.
Yeah, I have to. You know what? I'm still like discovering.
Do people up there know that
places.
you're not a native? Can they tell?
Yeah,
Or do you
I
fit in with
mean,
the A's? Do you say you speak?
eh,
But you should
I
be able to
don't.
speak Pig Latin fluently up there.
I will tell you this: I do not. I don't do the A's. I don't do the
Yeah,
A's.
they do it
Haven't
very well.
haven't done it yet. But I will say this: that sometimes, every now and then, a little New York comes out. Like when I say,
I can hear a
when I say,
little bit of it.
okay, when I say holidays, right? They're like holidays. I'm like, yeah, holidays. So I guess here they say it as it's like holidays, where I
Okay,
go holidays.
this is a good regional question. Do you say
Yeah.
pop or soda?
I say soda, but they say pop here.
Good. They're
So I'm
right.
like,
They're right because
I'm just like,
Rob grew up in the same town that I did in Clarksburg, and he says soda, and damn it, it's pop. It's pop every time. I don't know where he came from.
soda, man, come on,
No, it's not soda. Soda's for baking.
damn it.
Josh, what do you say? Josh is watching. What do you say? Is it soda or pop? And if you say soda, then you're out of the band. It's my band. Yeah. Well, what sort of do you know of any? I guess we can expand to Queens as well if you want to. Like you know, since you don't know about the area that well, since you know you've been there since 2015, you would think. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know. Trust me. I'm like,
But is there
I should
something
know more
maybe in
places.
Queens that like basically what I'm looking for is like things that you can't really Google, you know, like that are interesting. And even if it's something that you can Google that's interesting that maybe people don't talk about too much or visit too often.
oh, that's a good question.
Either
I mean,
city, either city you can do it.
so New York. I mean, they're similar in that there are places that that you'll discover by just walking around, right?
The
You
people
have
too.
like you've got like your famous landmarks, right? So New York, you've got Freedom Tower, you got Empire State Building, you got Rockefeller Center, right? Um, Central Park. So, Toronto, the CN Tower, you got Rogers Center where the Blue Jays play.
It looks so cool, Toronto. It really does.
You've got yeah, it's I always describe it as just like a mini version, but it's like New York, Chicago, San Francisco kind of
Or like the
mixed
same
together
region.
just cuz the city is by the lake, right? So you have that water element, you know.
Toronto,
Um
as a Google Earth person, Toronto reminds me of Dubai,
really
because of the
interesting.
buildings. The architecture of the buildings is just
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
awesome.
Some of the architecture for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Some of the shapes that they use there, you'll
Size wise,
see.
probably
Yeah,
not at
I've
all
seen
because
that.
I mean that place is just massive there. But but yeah, the architecture is just it's not odd. It's just and it's not futuristic. It could be, but it's just interesting because it's not what you see at every city. Every city you see
Right.
skyscrapers just designed differently, but you see
Right. Right. Right.
like floors jutting out from other floors, but the other side is like sucked in. Like I mean, it's the craziest shit you've ever seen, but it's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Like somebody thought of that and they're like, you know what? Yeah, let's build it. And they build it and it's fun. It's like
Yeah. No, it's wild, man. It
there
is
was
very
there was
cool.
another one. There was a I could be wrong, but is there like a central library or something like that, or was I in the thinking of somewhere
So
else?
New
That's like a
York
weird
City,
building.
you've got the New York Public Library.
No, I mean like in Toronto. In Toronto, I think it was
There is.
Central Library. I think
Yeah, there is a central library.
it's looks kind of funky.
Yeah,
Is the only reason I bring it up.
it does. It does.
Is that
It's
bad?
like the shape, right?
Sounds like you've been there before, and it's not as exciting as it seems.
I would say, if you're into more of that kind of thing, I would go see the Royal Ontario Museum. They call it the
I'm
ROM.
more into like the oddities and things, and there's oddity museums in every city. There was one in Toronto.
Oh yeah,
Can't remember
hundred
where it's now,
percent.
but where you can buy like a wreath that used to be someone's liver. Like I'm
Yeah.
into that. Just weird things. Like you don't have it, I have it. I'll sell
Oh
it to you.
geez.
It's like
Oh
that.
man.
There's a music garden in Toronto. And oddly enough, that's what it's called, Toronto Music Garden, and
Huh. I'll have to check it out.
it's
Shoot, man, you know more places than me.
four
The
ninety eight
hell?
Queens Quay West, Toronto is where this is.
Hmm.
It is a
Okay, Queens Quay. I know
Queens
that
Quay West. Yeah,
thoroughfare.
it's
Mhm.
on the lake. It's yeah, it's you have to read about it. It's very interesting. Yo-Yo Ma, the cellist,
Yeah, yeah.
and other musicians. They made a 6-part film inspired by Bach's suites for unaccompanied cello.
Oh wow.
And it says for the first part of the film, Yo-Yo Ma and this architect, they interpreted the music of the suite into a garden. I know it sounds off like
Okay.
weird, but Boston. They were supposed to do this in Boston. They pitched it to Boston, and Boston didn't take it. They said, hell no, we don't want that
Gotcha.
crap in our
Okay.
city. So Toronto's like, hell yeah, we want that in our city. So that's why it's there. But it was supposed to be in Boston,
Nice.
and Boston said, hell no, we got airports and stuff to build.
Nice.
I've never been to Boston either. But it's it's this park that and I guess I don't know if there's like some parks I've seen this in other cities too where like the way that the sculpture or the structure is you can get musical tones out of. So I don't know if it's something like that, but
Okay.
it's designed after Bach's something that he's done. But yeah,
I'll
I
have to
would
check
check
that
that
out.
out. Yeah, that would be awesome
I
to
will
see.
have to check that out.
We don't have
See?
that. We don't have very many
Yes,
interesting things
you're
here in West Virginia.
schooling me on some Toronto stuff.
Oh man, there's something interesting. You've been to Chicago, I'm sure, right?
Yes.
Next time you go, there's a shit fountain. I need you to go there and take a picture for me. I
That's what
found
it's
this.
called, the shit fountain.
It actually says it's engraved on the side of it. It says shit
Oh
fountain.
jeez.
Some kind of a sculpture fountain for people that that are into like dog shit.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if they're into dog shit, but like it's something that has to do with like canines and maybe rescues. I don't know. I can't
Interesting.
remember. I read about it, but yeah, it's shit fountain. I would eat lunch there every day. I would put my food on the fountain of shit. It's not real. It's a fountain with water. You know, it's made out of
Ah,
marble. You know, but yeah, but
that's
just
funny.
there's so many odd things in around everywhere. It's just statues was a big thing when I first started doing this back in January. It was huge. Um, I'm sure. Well, you've been to Massachusetts, I'm sure, because Massachusetts is big.
I have. So it's funny. So I've been to Boston.
Boston.
Um, Boston. So
There you go.
I've been to Boston. I remember performing at Boston University, but I haven't. I didn't really get to hang out in the city
Well,
to check it out.
I've never
You
had
know,
I've never had a guest from there, but the guest that I did have is from Worcester, which looks to me like it says Worcester, but it doesn't.
Worcester, but
Yeah,
it's
it's not.
Worcester.
Yeah, they corrected me several times on
Like,
that
how do
show.
you get that from that spelling?
Yeah, I mean, how do you get Worcestershire or how do you get Worcester sauce from Worcestershire
Yeah,
sauce?
yeah,
That's what
yeah,
it says. Damn it! Actually, I haven't seen that in a long time. I don't even think they make it anymore. You know that
I
sauce.
well, I
I'm
mean,
sure. I'm
yeah,
sure
maybe.
Heinz has kept that in rotation. I'm sure you would think.
Exactly,
But
exactly.
no, there's a statue. This is what kicked it off. The guys in Rose Lane from Worcester, Massachusetts, is Worcester every time. But I'll go ahead and say it. Worcester, Massachusetts, Rose
Go
Lane.
for it.
I brought this up, and this is like they were like one of the first people to do this segment. So like I didn't have anything to give them. It was like a monument of something that was abandoned, and they're like, oh yeah, we've been there. That's lame. The middle of town in Worcester, Massachusetts, in the middle of town, and you can Google this. Anybody can Google this. Google Turtle
Turtle
Boy,
Boy.
Worcester, Massachusetts, or just
Turtle Boy.
Massachusetts
Okay,
would be
okay.
fine. Just and look at the picture, and please laugh, because Rob was on the show with me, and he was like, "Oh man," like he
Oh.
saw it before I did. I'm like, "What? Let me see." Yeah.
All right,
What do
hang
you got?
on. See, now you're gonna make me do this
You
Turtle
got it.
Boy.
Oh, I'm forcing you to do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
must see it.
Whoa!
Exactly.
Wow!
That's in the
What
middle of
is that?
town, like right in the smack in the middle of town. Everybody's fine with it, but they sell T-shirts and stickers though, so I'm a big fan.
That is wild.
Apparently, it's been there for quite a while, and people put like Santa hats on the guy and stuff for Christmas and decorate him. And he's basically for those of
Damn.
you that aren't seeing this.
I cannot
He's
unsee that.
how do you describe that? Like it's
Uh,
people don't swim with
that
turtles like that.
basically that would
He's
be it.
he's swimming with
Turtle
a
Boy.
turtle. That's what he's doing, but he's doing it from behind. So
Yeah, yeah.
just to give you an idea. But yeah, that's what kicked it off. That's what I was like. All right, this segment's going to work out really good. And so like every single one after. I mean, I was getting butt plug Santa from Amsterdam. Like I mean,
Right.
just crazy shit. Anyway, so are you
Dang.
sure there's nothing in Queens? That there's no shit fountains or
No, I mean
butt
Queens. You
plugs?
got. I mean, you could
You
probably
probably
find it.
do. You don't see
Yeah,
it.
there's places for sure.
Upon request, you would see it,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I mean, you have landmarks. You got like where the globe is from Men in Black. That's Flushing Meadows Park, so that's
Oh yeah,
Queens.
forgot about that.
You got Citi Field where the Mets play, Yankee Stadium. Yeah, if you were really, you're looking for shit, looking to do some shady stuff, whatever, like you'll
No, not
find it.
shady stuff. Just this
Not
stuff that
shady,
you're
but
not really
like
like seen from, but it's interesting
like
as hell.
off the beaten
Yeah,
path for sure. But you have to. The thing is, you can only find it by like walking around and sort of
in
stumbling upon some of
dangerous
these,
places.
unless you know someone that knows someone that knows
There was
someone.
speaking of dangerous things. I was sitting in the house here about an hour before I usually come in here about an hour before you would the guests would come on
Yeah.
just to get set up and things. But I was sitting in there and I was making that promo video for the Secret comes out at midnight. There's a plug. The Cute Mania single comes out at midnight.
Nice.
Anyway, I was making that, and I had the storm door shut. Storm door is different than the screen door, but it can be a screen door if you open the screen. It was 96 degrees today, so I didn't do that. I just left the storm door open, and so basically, there's a main highway out there, so I can hear trucks going by and shit. But and every once in a while you'll hear somebody like screech their brake, screech their tires or whatever, and you just have to wait for an impact. But it doesn't
Okay.
happen all the time. Some people do it on purpose. You get those assholes that just do it on purpose. This wasn't one of those instances. So I'm sitting in there, and I'm just about done making that video, and I'm like, well, okay, when I get done with this, I'll come in here and get set up and be ready for when Jay comes in. Well, I hear the screech of the tires, and then I just waited like a half a second, then it was bam. I'm like, uh-oh. Because it's like it's not
Some
an intersection.
happen.
It's just this. Our neighborhood's one street, and it just goes down to the county road, which is 2 lanes, and then
Right.
But the one I really hear is the interstate, which is on the other side of the hill. But I can hear it. I can hear all of it. So like,
Jeez.
so it was a heavy slam, and I there's a curve up here beyond me. Just if you go left down here to the left on the main road, there's a curve, and it's not like it's a blind curve or anything. But people they mess up, they fuck up, and they go over the hill. But you usually don't hear them because they're landing in the bushes. They're impacting anybody. They're just impacting themselves.
Right.
And they're usually fine.
Right.
So, like, I'm not making fun of that. I'm just saying that they don't know how to go around a turn, pretty much. But this was not one of those. So I was like, okay, somebody impacted somebody for sure. So I
Yeah,
I
exactly.
have no shoes on, no socks, nothing. So I get up and I go outside. I see a truck in the middle of the road with the front smashed, but not like hardcore, just smashed up a little bit. It's probably like an late 80s Chevy truck, like beefy.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
they don't make them like that anymore, kind of truck.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of crinkled in the front. And I had to. There's one more house next to me, so I had to go down the yard. I'm barefoot still, so I'm going down the yard. I'm kind of not just. I'm kind of walking a little bit faster. Maybe somebody's hurt.
Yeah.
So I get to where I can see the front yard of the house next to me. There's somebody like turned up in, and it's like high centered up on the ditch and stuff. And I didn't really see any like damage, but you can see the airbags inside. I was like,
Right.
hope they're okay, So I don't get involved, but I kind of do because, I'm that kind of people that helps if I can, I'm there.
Right.
I can't give you CPR. I know how to do it. I don't know. You'd have to tell me on the phone, or 911 would have to. Just one of those things. But I could be there for traffic control or something. Like.
Right.
So anyway, basically the guy in the truck, it wasn't his fault. He was just traveling up the road, and somebody was turning out of my road here and didn't see him. Pulled right out in front of him, and he just smashed it. He creamed it because on the other side of the vehicle, the driver's side was just smashed in. But everybody's fine.
Ooh. Hey, look, as long as everyone's fine, but I'm
just
sure,
like
like, you look at like the wreckage, and you're like,
yeah, it's just like, I mean,
how are these people okay?
The driver's door was just smashed in, and both of those side airbags were out. Of course, the Chevy truck had no airbags because that was like late 80s.
Yeah,
airbags, But it was younger guys. It was a younger kid too, and I was like, "Did you not hit the dashboard or anything?" Because they might have and just not said anything, But
shoot, I remember riding in cars that you didn't have no seatbelts in the back.
Do you remember the ones that would like run along the track on the door when you shut the door and it would just buckle for you?
Oh yeah. Oh my God, yes.
I think there's like those most dangerous ones. I think because they said they were attached to the door, that's why they were dangerous or something.
Yeah.
Great idea, Anyway.
Yeah, but once those get stuck, you're stuck.
Josh really enjoyed Show Out. I'm sorry, Show Out. He
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it.
I'm thinking we should go ahead and listen to Love Tomorrow, unless you want to listen to a different one.
Yeah, man.
But I'm thinking Love Tomorrow would be the one.
Let's go for it, man.
All right.
Love Tomorrow.
You want to say something about this real quick so we don't run out of time?
Yeah,
go ahead.
No. So this one, so this was a fun one when we were writing this. A lot of times when you're, in the studio and you're going to, start try and create some magic. A lot of times we're just conversating, like we're just kind of like vibing out. And this one session when we were doing this one, we were talking about, there was a point in time, my early 20s where I was, I was seeing 3 girls at once.
You whore!
Oh my God, that was so bad.
I need a
one and only time. That was, I was like it was.
How did you? Wait,
I guess
that's
not like
that's a
not
management thing.
at the
Artists,
same not at the same time, but they
right?
were like, so close to each other.
I don't
But
see that
one
from
lived
you, Jay.
here. I know that was way back in the day.
Oh my
So,
goodness, that's a great. That's
but
great.
it was like one in New York, one in Jersey, one in Philly. So
And that's
yeah,
closer together than you think.
I know, I know, I know. So this song, Love Tomorrow, you know,
That's
if
okay.
you'll hear the lyrics, so the hook goes, I think I love you tonight, but I know I'll love her tomorrow, right? So it's kind of like, being in that limbo of, well, I mean, I like all three, I like them all, but
Well, okay. So
you have
which one
to.
did you choose? Like, what was the? I need to know the personal behind this a little bit.
Oh, none of them.
Wow,
Yeah, it
definitely
didn't
a whore.
didn't
Definitely a man
quite
whore.
work. Didn't quite.
Definitely a man whore.
Did
Okay, so
not.
this is this
Did
is the
not. Well,
one man
actually,
whore
no.
song here.
I will say this. The Philly, that lasted a couple of months, but that was yeah.
Hmm.
The Philly one
I
was
would go into
was
why, but it's
probably
not that
about
kind of
3-4
podcast.
months.
So it's not that kind of podcast. So we
No,
won't go into the.
not that kind of
That's
podcast.
for like that's for like a live TikTok. I think is when you get that when you get
Exactly,
the
exactly.
all right, Love
But
Tomorrow
thinking
by
about
Jay.
thinking
Go ahead.
about that one point in time, you know, that one and only time that's ever
I
happened.
don't see you as a
This
man
is,
whore. I really don't, man.
I
It's like
know. Look, my friends
I'm not
used to,
disappointed much, but like I'm just like I don't.
you're like, really? So
We need to
my
hang.
friends,
It sounds like we need to go
yeah,
out and find some
my
ladies. You know,
my
Toronto,
close
Toronto.
friends, my nickname was Dirty J.
Wow. Okay,
Ah, man, back
hang
in
on a
the
minute.
day.
Hang on a minute. Let me get to the thing here because I must do this. There it is. Whoops.
Let's go for it.
There. Did you hear it?
There we go. Ba-dum-bum. There it is.
See, it's working.
I like that.
This
You
thing,
gotta get. You need that to go longer. That's quick.
yeah.
That's a quick one. That
Is
was
that better?
better.
I mean, I can hold it in and it goes more. Here's the one we needed earlier.
There we go.
I mean, it's there, but I'll get it. I'll get it together. I promise. I've always
All good.
gotten it together on here, but we'll go that route another time. So, hey, maybe
So
we'll just do a sound check show. You know, I doubt it. But here is Jay.
I'll love
Cabrera
tomorrow.
with Love Tomorrow. This is so good.
Thank you.
You can call it love, my man. I just said whatever like that. She just wanna go. She said just leave her alone. Guess her eyes don't lie. When she asks me why, hard to tell the truth. If love don't wanna hurt you, I think I love you. But I know I'll never tomorrow. Oh, I'm so, I think I love you. And I do tomorrow. Don't know why I am. If only I could close her eyes and pretend that she's the only one in my life. But history's repeating it twice, and the story always ends with you crying. Now she's in my face, telling me she'll never leave me, baby, please stay. But it's hard, 'cause she could never get to number one. She's looking for a boyfriend, but it's just fun. I think I love you, but I know I'll never tomorrow. Oh, I'm so, I think I love you, and I do.
That's probably my favorite one, Jay.
Mine too. No, I'm just
It
kidding.
really is.
Well, it
It's
is. It
just so
is.
it's so I don't. It's got elements of everything that should be in a song for mainstream play. You know,
Appreciate that,
it's
man.
just
Appreciate that.
so it's and anybody can relate to it. It's got those lyrics that anybody can relate to for anything that's going on in their life. You know, and
Yeah.
that's what I mean. That's how I try to write too. I fall short a lot, but I'm an amateur at that.
Hey,
Like
you're
it's
doing
just
your thing, man.
that's what it is with your stuff is so good because you're writing lyrics the way that people can relate to, and what it doesn't matter the genre music you do or whatever anybody plays, or even if you like that style, it's are you saying anything to the listener, and is it something they can relate to?
Yeah.
I think that's a big, especially nowadays. People are really looking for something to gravitate towards, regardless of
Well, you
what kind of
gotta,
music.
you know what it is? You have to, music is really that true universal language. So you have to be able to, you gotta find a way to make that listener feel something,
Yes.
right? And it could be any emotion, happy, sad, angry, joy, pain, whatever it may be. But, you know, music has the power to, to really affect your emotions. And that's something that's key with, you know, music, even if it's not in English, right?
Yeah, it's
And I
true.
feel
Yeah.
like, you know, it really isn't about, I mean, words, yes, but sometimes, when I listen to some music that's not in English, but the music and the melody and how the artist is performing the vocal, like, as if I feel something, I'm like, yeah, this is good. I don't
Yeah.
even know what they're saying, but it's dope.
There's a band out in Portland, Oregon that I've been following since they've been on the show a couple years ago. To Bloom is what they're called,
Okay,
and the lead singer sings in Spanish sometimes. I don't speak a lick of
nice.
Spanish, but I being around it all the time, you kind of recognize some things. But he kind of breaks the songs sometimes, some of his songs, and sings in Spanish. And I don't even know what he's saying, but it doesn't matter because like I can feel the emotion from for the the entire the music and everything just goes right with it.
Exactly,
So I know what you're
exactly. It's,
saying.
it's
It's
so
just
cool.
nuts. The way the human brain reacts to music is crazy because it doesn't matter what the lyrics are saying. It's the emotion of the ocean. No, I didn't mean to say
No,
that.
honestly, it's the motion motion of the ocean. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
No.
know. I didn't mean to say it like that. It's just the first thing that came to mind. But yeah, yeah, I can see. I see I know what you're saying, and like that's what it is. Like music is so powerful without its language, without a language, just in its own language. I guess the
Yeah,
language of
yeah,
music is
exactly.
just universal. I remember you saying that
Exactly.
when you interviewed me on your show, and I took that to heart too. I was like, man, like I knew that, but like it takes somebody to say that for you to realize it again, and
Yeah. I
that's
mean, look, if
that's
you
badass.
I mean, we can tie it into like indie vibing. So even
We
the
can
August
definitely.
rotation, there's an artist. His name is Teo Gagnon out of France. So singing in French, it's a dope song. Don't know
Nice.
what he's saying, but it's pretty cool. Then there's another artist, Monica M. She's singing in Spanish. The song's called Bayudate, right? So again, like,
You wait.
doesn't
Okay,
that?
well, you're in Canada. Aren't you supposed to be able to speak a little bit of French, or is that not in your not part of it?
I mean, no, that's more Quebec, right?
Yeah, like
Montreal,
Montreal. Yeah, yeah.
the Quebecois. Like they
Do you
want you
speak
to be able to speak.
any other languages?
Nah, I mean, like I can understand. I'm Filipino, so the main language, Tagalog, I do understand it. As if I think if I really tried, I probably could speak it a little bit.
Could you
Spanish, I took Spanish in high school, but
I do this sometimes, especially with bands I have on from other countries. I have them teach me a phrase in their native language. Would you be able to do that?
yeah, yeah. So you could do, you know what? You can say mahal kita.
Hakita,
Yeah,
like
so
hockey,
it's
almost like hockey.
Mahal kita. Mahal kita.
Hakita. What am I
Yeah, I
saying?
mean, I love you.
I thought I was saying like I'm a douche or something like
Well, I
that.
mean, I could say something else.
The guy from Finland The Bean Rats Will Feast. They've been on. They've been on a long time ago, and then they were on recently. And, like, I love those guys, but they taught me how to say "it burns when I pee" in Finnish.
Oh shoot.
So it doesn't have to be
Hey,
anything like crazy. I mean, but
well,
and
why not?
in Turkish, I'm supposed to learn this Turkish word. It's the longest, almost the longest word in any language. I think it's a very long word, and I'd have to send it to you to show it to you. But
Oh geez.
Google has said it to me several times, and I still can't do it. But he did it perfectly, like a son
Dang.
of a bitch. But it's I mean, I'm telling you, this thing spans like well, you use Mac, so like on the notes, like that,
Right.
you're looking at a good 4 lines of that of one
Jeez.
word, just one word. But in the
What the
translation, it's like
heck?
an entire paragraph of it in English. 'Cause the way that
Wow.
their language works, you add certain pronouns and all that stuff. It's
Right.
crazy.
Right.
Because he sent me like the breakdown chart, and it's like I'm already overwhelmed, and I'm only on the third line of this chart. It's like I don't want to like why, but I mean he says it like it's well he's it's his
Damn.
native language, but yeah.
Rolls off the tongue. You're like, what'd you say?
Rolls off the tongue.
Exactly.
Real quick, what's your favorite food?
Italian.
Really?
Mhm.
Like what kind of Italian? The
Ooh,
Toronto kind?
man.
Or the
Nah,
Queens kind?
I'm talking Rome, Sicily, like true Italian.
Like spaghetti?
Bolognese, a really
Oh,
nice
yeah, the bolognese.
bolognese is I've had it in Rome, and yeah, there's nothing can compare to.
That's funny that you answer that, and there in no way did I know that was your favorite food, but I was trying to segue into something, and it worked 100%. In Clarksburg, West Virginia, where I'm from, I live in Shinston now, which is just kind of basically right up the road. But in my hometown this weekend is the Italian Heritage Festival,
Oh, nice. Okay. All right.
and it's every Labor Day weekend every year. I haven't been in a few years. It's just I don't need to
Well,
go.
they'll do. You know what's funny? They'll do New York. So New York City. Um, it
Well,
should
there's
be
a
coming
Little
up soon.
Italy,
It's
isn't
it's a
there?
San. It's called, yeah. So San Gennaro Festival.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, the
yeah,
food's
it's a big one.
excellent, and we have
Oh my God. Yeah.
several local restaurants here that have been in business for years, and it's just I just had one of them last week, Oliveria's,
Nice.
but it's authentic. It's not Olive Garden. I love Olive Garden sometimes in increments, but
Okay.
it's not what me and you were talking about. That's not the Italian food
Right.
we're talking about. That's not it. That's Italian food in a generic way.
It's Italian food.
It is
In a
very good
yeah.
though. It is very good, but damn it, you must go to somewhere that has
You gotta
authentic
go to the
Italian food.
source. You
Yes,
gotta go to the
so good.
source.
I've had one band from Italy on twice, and
Nice.
Break Me Down from Milan, and he always talks about the food, and I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
man. It's
cool
true.
statue.
Yeah,
Cool,
I will
cool
vouch
statue in
for
the
it.
middle of Milan though. Cool statue in the middle of Milan. Giant middle finger. It's a huge statue.
Yeah.
Giant. It's a giant middle finger.
Giant middle finger. Yeah, I've never
And
been, but I've seen.
well,
Yeah,
you'll see it, I'm sure, as soon as you fly in there. You would assume. I mean, the thing's like the Eiffel Tower size. That's
that's
massive.
funny. Damn.
I need to go there just for that, and then just turn around and go
Just for
right
that
back. I
land
do
and
need to
then
come up
right
to
back on the
Toronto
plane.
sometime, man. What do you have
Definitely,
any
man.
live? Do you have any live shows coming up, or do you have anything?
I mean, I
Radio stuff?
just honestly, I just did. There was a festival last weekend in Toronto called Mabuhay Philippines Festival.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So I got to do a little 15-minute set real quick, but other than that, nothing as of yet. Might do um, some small like performance appearance during the Toronto International Film Festival. It's called TIFF. So that's next weekend and the weekend after.
That's awesome.
So it depends. Like there's events that go on throughout the city, and over the years since I've been here, I have done some TIFF event
I
performances.
want to touch on your award that you recently got. Also, just briefly, tell us about that.
So okay, so Show Out back in 2017 was nominated for a Toronto Independent Music Award, which is very cool.
Yes.
Unexpected, but very cool. Didn't win, but hey, you know, it's just cool to get that recognition,
You did win
right?
win something though, right? I remember you posted something.
Um.
What's that?
Oh, okay. So the last this past April and the last April, so 2023 and then 2024, something called the Cheer Choice Awards that happens out in Vegas. Matter of fact, they've just announced the dates for next year. So Cheer Choice Awards, they celebrate positivity on through for creators through their platforms.
Nice.
So, uh, so I was nominated last year for the radio show. So for Indie Vibin' and Friday Night Hour, and again this past year I was nominated again. Didn't win, but it was awesome. Vegas was
Still,
dope.
but still, the
Yeah, so
recognition.
it takes place at the Palms Casino and Resort.
I was looking for the button. I was
Uh,
looking for the button.
and now,
I had to
so
find the
if you go to
button.
Cheer Choice Awards, follow them on Instagram. You'll see the info for set aside the dates for next year. Um, if I'm nominated again, there'll be some voting rounds,
Yes. Go vote.
starting in October. So I'll keep you guys abreast on that.
Yeah.
Uh, and then, if I make it to the top 5 nominees, I'll be in Vegas in
I
April
think you
next
will.
year.
I
So
think you will.
get your tickets, people. Cheerchoiceawards.com.
You do a lot. You do a lot for the indie music scene, and you do a lot for the music industry. You know, as a whole, I think, and I just kind of met you through somebody that I had on the show, Paper Champs. And
Oh yeah, Paper
I'm so
Champs, New
grateful
York
that
City.
I was able to connect with you because the
That's
things you
dope.
do, I look up to you for.
Oh,
I'm
I
kind of young
appreciate
in
that,
this,
man.
and it's badass what you do for the scene, and I wish you the best of success in everything. If you
Thank
ever
you, man. I
need me for
appreciate it,
anything,
man.
I'm probably not going to know the answer, but I will try.
Vice versa as well. Thank you for being on Friday Night Hour.
Yes, that was.
2
I want to come
Fridays
back. I want
ago.
to come back. Like if you don't have a guest, just hit me up. I'll just come back on. You know.
Sounds good. I'm down. I'm down for it.
Yeah, but
I am
best of
down
luck.
for it.
Tell the folks where they find you and when they can see you,
Of
see and hear
course,
you.
of course. Thank y'all for tuning in. Acute Mania Live is in the building.
Yes, he is.
It's it's your boy Jae Cabrera here. You can go to jaecabrera.com. That's
Beautiful
JAECABRERA.com.
website.
Follow me. Thank you. Follow me on Instagram. Same Jae Cabrera. Follow me on TikTok. Same. Uh, Twitter/X is Jae Cabrera Music. Facebook.com/Jae Cabrera Music. And listen to my music on all platforms and follow the Indie Vibin' with Jay
Yes. Now, can
playlist.
everybody do the voting, or is that just a few people? I know I got that.
No, no, no. You can share that link and they can
Okay.
vote. And I say vote for songs because, don't just vote for one. You can vote for multiple songs.
And this stuff is good, even if you don't like a lot of it. I don't know, but like, just go and listen to snippets of it. I'm telling you, this is
Yeah.
the stuff. This is the stuff.
Some good
you're not
stuff,
getting.
man. And you know what? With Indie Vibin', we're in season 3 right now. Seasons 1 and 2, we were changing it up weekly. The rotations change every week,
Wow.
which is wild. So there are
Yeah.
for 2022 and 2023, if you go to Spotify and type in Indie Vibin' with Jay, you'll see there's 104 weeks of playlists up
Nice.
until this year. This year it's by month. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August.
And also
So
get a hold of you. Get a hold of Jay if you want to be on Friday Night Hour because he's supposed to do this every
yes.
week, and I'm trying to help him with his commitment.
We're gonna, what we're doing? We're doing summer's pretty much over. So we'll just like I thought about this. I'm like, you know what? We're gonna follow like the talk show schedule where the
There you go.
summers are off and they
Yes.
start it back up,
Yeah, like doctor's hours, right?
in September. Yeah.
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 But
So
yeah,
we
it's so
will
much,
we will
it was so
start
much
it
fun
back
being on
up.
the show. So much fun
Thank
being
you,
on your
brother.
show,
Appreciate
and
it.
he's a great interviewer. So at least submit your music to him because he will put it on
Definitely.
the rotation and
Yes.
give you some spins and some love on
Yeah.
your stuff.
If you
'Cause
want to, yeah. So
it's
the
dope.
artists that want to submit, it's J@jcabrera.com. So JAE
Easy,
at jcabrera.com. Super
easy
easy.
stuff. So
Make
easy.
sure that you send send it in an MP3 format.
Yes.
You know, artist name. You can add your Spotify link as well.
Any style of music? And are you limited at all?
Open format.
There you go. Yep.
Send it all. So if
Send
there's
it
a
all.
song you want to push, send it. And if it works with that month's rotation, cool. If not,
He's got it.
we
Yep.
might push it to the next month.
Yep. So I'm so glad you took the time out of your traveling schedule today to be on the show.
No,
I know
appreciate
you were
it. Hey,
traveling
look,
today, and
couldn't miss this one, man. Come on
yeah,
now.
I appreciate you. I was telling you before we went live that I kind of stole a couple of your artists. Now we didn't get to
Do it.
listen to Hellbent at the beginning because of my new mixer issue, but I fixed it.
Let's
And
play it.
I want to play a little bit of Hellbent before we go.
Play a
and
little
then
bit of
play
Hellbent.
Some Majoya.
Let's go.
All right, here we go.
I like fast cars. I like the cars that go boom. I like the fucking fast cars. I like the cars that go boom. Do you have a fast car? You know, a car that goes boom. I wanna drive your fast car.
You know, Jay, technically, we could stay on the air here and for another 20 minutes. You know what comes out in 20 minutes, right? The Acute Mania song.
You tuned in to Indie Vibin' with
Yeah.
Jay.
Yeah, we can just switch on over to Indie Boppin', you know? Now, here, a little bit more of a fast car.
I like the cars that go boom. I like the fucking fast cars. I like the cars that go boom.
Hopefully, we get Rachel on the show here soon too. And we'll talk
Definitely.
about fast cars.
Yeah, she's cool people. She's cool
It's
people.
good shit for sure.
Yeah, man.
Now, the other person I
yeah.
stole from you,
Julia Dales.
Julia Dales. Tell me something about Julia Dales. I don't know much about her, but her music, this song "Loud" that we're gonna play is freaking phenomenal.
Wait, what song do you have from her?
"Loud." I think it's a newer
Oh,
one.
okay. Now I have it's probably a newer one because I have her song "With Me."
Well, just
in
tell us
rotation
about
at the
Julia then.
moment.
Did you
So
have her- was she on Friday Night
Julia,
Live?
she was not. So
Should invite her
it's
on?
funny. I have a list of artists to be, guests.
We should do it.
on-
We should. Okay, this is an idea. I'm just shooting
on
this
the
in the dark here.
show.
We should do like a Keep Mania Live / Friday Night Hour show somehow.
You know what?
I don't know how that would
could.
work, but
Let's do
whatever.
that. We could figure it out. We can figure it out.
Maybe.
Julia
For a
Dales.
holiday.
How did I? Hold
I'm
on, let
pretty
me
sure
see.
that she liked one of the posts of me when I was on your show.
Oh, wait a second. You know what? Let me see.
And I saw.
You know what's
saw
funny?
Yeah.
The amount. I will say this: the amount of emails that I get with
You have
song
44,000
submissions,
followers on Instagram alone. So like, I'm sure
It's
that
kind
you're
of
already
crazy.
getting-
It's crazy. So
Congratulations to that, by the way.
Julia
That's awesome.
Dales, thank you. Appreciate it, man.
If you ever want
It's,
to send any of them my way, you're more than welcome to.
dude, if you're on there and you
it's
see
nuts.
artists that
It's so nuts though that like it's just overwhelming.
oh, it's man, it's kind of
But it's
crazy.
badass. Dude, because, like, it's like, man, I'm doing something that they watch or they like. Like it's,
Well, yeah, and
'cause I just got to 1,000
it's
like a couple months ago, and I'm like, wow.
but here's
Seriously?
the thing. We're doing stuff, we're doing stuff that we love, right?
If you're watching, by the way, hit subscribe because that counts for stuff.
Everybody hit the subscribe button.
And go to Jay's
Come on
thing
now.
and subscribe. Do that. What
Yes,
looking
if
for?
you were
Are you looking for Julia's bio in your emails?
yeah, I'm like going through because you know what it is. So I'm
I'll
trying
have her
to
on my
look
show,
at
then
this.
I'll send you an email and let you know all about it. How about that? Or
Let
just
me
watch
see.
the show and then I'll ask the questions that that you won't ask, and then you can have everybody your show, and then you just take over from there. After my show's over, she'll go straight to Friday Night Hour, and bam, kills two birds with one stone.
Here, I'll tell you.
Doesn't ever have to talk to us again. It'd be the longest day
I'll
of
tell
her
you right
life.
now. So Julia Dales.
I was asking. I asked Rachel last night. I said, where are you from? And she said, Canada. We're all from Canada.
Yeah, never.
I was like, well, I'm probably the only one that's not. I'm in West Virginia, but she's like, nice. So hopefully I can get her on. She seems pretty sweet. So
Yeah, get in there. You know what? I think I met her. I think she's from the UK, and I met her through another artist.
networking.
Yeah, it's weird because sometimes, like, like I don't know where they're coming from.
I know, like
You're yeah.
I get this.
You're like, my friend said to email you, and I'm like, who? I was
Yeah,
like,
I know. Yeah,
I don't need to
which
know.
friend? You know how many friends I have?
It's crazy, man.
But it's I love every minute of it. You know, it's crazy, and eventually you do figure it out, and sometimes too late. But you just got
Hey, I
you just
mean,
got to keep
look,
going. It's so much
you
fun.
gotta,
So
exactly.
the does the
Oh,
is,
you know
is there
why?
a
Here,
is there a midnight to
this
2
is
a.m. tonight?
why.
Is there a show tonight?
There is a show tonight, midnight to 2 a.m. on
Are you always
indie1015.com.
live on it? Are you always doing it live?
Not all the time.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you have like
I try and do like 2 to 3 if I can a week. I mean, shit. Lately, if I get one in, I'm happy.
tonight you had an important interview. Tonight you had an important interview, so you couldn't.
Exactly. So okay, so check it out. So Julia Dales.
It's badass. You should check out
So
her
we
music.
had a song. Yeah, we had a song from her in rotation called "Bite Me,"
That's a good one
and
too. Yeah,
Bite It," and then
fight it. Yeah,
the current song called "With Me." But you have a different song from her,
I
right?
have a newer one. Apparently, it's called Loud. It's not as loud as you would think for the name, but it's a great song. We'll listen to it in a second.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's hang out again via Zoom or via in person meetings. I do
Hell
travel
yeah,
quite a bit.
man!
I
I'm
travel quite a
down.
bit, and I've never been to New York City. I don't know how often you go back to New York City, but you would be a great tour guide there, I'm sure. Let's see. There's a that's for another show. I was going to tell you about a statue up in New York City that I recently found. Everybody touches the dick of the statue, but anyway, we'll do that. We'll do that another time. But
That is for part 2 of this show.
yeah, we'll do this again. We'll do this again.
Sounds good, man.
We're gonna listen to some Julia Dales on the way out. This is Loud, and Jay, just stay on there for a second. I'll say a formal goodbye.
Yeah, man.
I quit the live stream. Thank you all for watching. We went a little bit over tonight, but it's okay.
Hey,
It's
all
good
good.
conversation. This is special. It's a special thing. I have a
No,
new mixer. I got it
There's
to
no
work.
time limit on these things.
I
Come
got it to
on.
work. The sky's the
There
limit
you
at this
go.
point.
There you
I'll
go.
take a picture of the mixer and put it up on Instagram and in the socials and stuff. You'll see it.
And seeing you with the mixer set up, now I need to set up my Rodecaster Pro.
Now it's time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
call
still in
me
the
for help
box
though,
still.
because that's what I looked up. This one versus that one. And
Oh, shoot,
I
okay.
went for this one. Well, it's made more sense for what I'm doing. So that one
Right.
made more sense for you. It's all about
True.
what you want.
Exactly.
Here's Julia Dales with Loud, and I will see you. Let's see. I'm going to see Grace Campbell tomorrow live with opening for the Plain White Tees. She met Melissa Etheridge on Wednesday in Pittsburgh, so she's
That's
got a great
amazing.
week. But I will be hopefully backstage with her tomorrow night up in Morgantown. And then the one show I do know I have scheduled that's confirmed is September 24th with Obey the Kraken from Germany. And gosh, it's probably the heaviest band I've ever had on here, but I can't wait to talk to them. So I will definitely see you on the 24th. There's another one that's kind of in limbo in schedule, so you'll see it when you see it. Here's Julia Dales with Loud. Thank you, Jay, for being on.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it.
Been awesome.
I'm not patient. I'm not waiting. I want it now. I want it now. I want it